Okay, so what I want to share with you today is a little modification to our joint mobilization of the femoral tibial joint, especially when you are treating either patients with a great limitation of motion towards flexion, or on those patients with a total knee replacement that you are struggling trying to get them into higher degrees of mobility. So there are two techniques that I tend to combine. Even though we don't have a real true joint, I still treat the knee as a true joint. But I really emphasize the traction part of the mobilization. So there are different ways you can set up your patient. Let's say if your patient has already 90 degrees of flexion, you want to start right there. Even if they have a little bit more than that, always start at 90 degrees of flexion to give the joint the ability to adapt to what you're going to be doing. So one thing that you can do, and I learned this from a colleague in Texas, is that you can use a weight. This is a 7-pound weight, and you can place it around your patient's ankle. So I'm going to do that right now. Of course, if your patient is able to tolerate that weight without going into excruciating pain or more soreness, right? So I'm just going to get it over here, and now the joint is already being loaded into a traction position. From here, you can work your way to manage. I always recommend first working on the ligaments and then working on the fascia. And after that, you can start working on your way towards getting more knee joint flexion through a joint mobilization. So the first thing I'm going to do is, Alex, can you scoop forward a little bit? Be careful with your patient, of course, on the table, but you want to give some space here. If you need to roll a little bit more of that towel underneath to get some more cushioness and get some more ability to get degrees of flexion, feel free to do that. The patient should be feeling some traction in the joint, and then you can use your hands, both hands, on whatever you're doing. I always use some lotion to reduce some of the friction, unless you want really go into a deep specific transfer friction massage. But if not, I always recommend to use some of these. So if you remember well, one of the most painful surrounding tissues in the joint is your medial collateral ligament, and remember that it goes from the medial epicondyle all the way to the anterior face of your tibia, and in that direction it has like a rhombo shape, and that guy can really be a source of pain in most of our knee patients. So you really want to target 3 different points here. You want to go into the epicondyle region, and you can do your transverse friction. You can go into the knee joint line. Just have to be careful with the bursa at that area. And the same thing when you go down into the most distal part on the insertion on the tibia. And from here, you can also work on your transverse friction massage. And then you can work your way to work on more superficial tissue like the myofascia. The good thing about this is that you can use your other arm and work on getting some flexion while you're working on the quads, the adductors, or sometimes the IT band on this portion. Now, if you are able to if you don't have any weights like this one, you can always use your hands. Okay, so let's say we don't have one of these. You can always use both hands and work your way toward getting more flexion. I can do some traction with this hand and mobilize with my right hand towards flexion. All right. You can modify your grip if you want to work more on these different specific compartments. But if you keep it in 90 degrees with respect of your lower leg, you know you're getting into the femoral tibial joint. Now, I always recommend, as I said before, to use traction. And one other way that you can do that is by using a belt. With the belt, what I want to do is I'm going to use a small towel like this one. I'm going to place it around my patient's lower leg. Esto lo voy a cortar. And then what I'll do is I'm going to use a traction or mobilization belt. I'm going to go around my towel, all right? And from that point, I cross it over and click it down. I'm going to pull it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my foot, I'm going to use my left foot to actually make some traction down into the same joint. So now I have both hands again, and I'm using my foot to do some traction on that joint. And then you can work your way into better mobility. The good thing is I can work on the medial compartment, or I can work on the lateral compartment if I need it, okay? As you progress in the mobilization, you want to hit higher than 90 degrees of flexion. So if you have a table like this, or if you can accommodate your patient, let me have you, Alex, standing for a second. And you can set up this into higher degrees of elevation. So when he sits down, you have now, can you scoop a little forward? Now you don't have 90 degrees, now you have higher degrees of flexion. And again, you can use your towel underneath, and you keep the same setting that you had before. You may have to lengthen this a little bit, use your foot and traction while you're pushing backwards into the tibia to get higher degrees of flexion. If you can scoop up, there we go. Now I have more mobility. I will traction and work my way into flexion. I can keep that traction, keep that degree of flexion, and work on the fascia around the quads. I can work behind the knee joint into the gastrocnemius. And of course, again, make sure that I'm also working on the collateral ligaments to release some of that tension and allow for better mobility. One more thing is, don't forget your kneecap. You can also use the heel of your hand and push that kneecap distally when you're trying to gain more mobility into flexion. Remember, if this guy is not moving as he should, you can try as much as you can, you're not going to get more mobility in the knee joint. So don't forget your patellofemoral joint.